Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. Finally, Peter Obi's legal team have decided to address the issue of the final written address made by Olanipe Okunsi, advocate of Nigeria, representing Tinubu and Shettima, and they have also written their own final written address over the PEPT, Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. It's a 42 pages. Okay, so it probably may be in part, but we're going to give you a highlight of what was written in those addresses. Keep giving you because it's quite elaborate. You please pardon me, I can't give you all the 42 pages, but I'll give you a highlight on them. But before we go into the news proper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Remember, the final written address is the one that they will write. Then Peter Obi and the article will respond to all the correspondence, that's INEC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Shettima. Then the petitioners is going to be Labour Party, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and PDP and APM. And let's move on very quickly, just a recap. Well, the candidate of the Labour Party, LP, in the presidential election held in the 25th day of February 2023, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi has filed his final written address at the Presidential Election Petition Court, otherwise known as PEPT, holding at the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja, insisting that the candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and his running mate, Senator Shettima Kashim, must be disqualified from participating in the election. The written address has Peter Obi and Labour Party as the petitioners and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, Shettima, and APC as the respondent. Given his reasons for the demand, Peter Obi, Labour Party, stated as follows. A sentence in the second to third respondent's address alarmed the petitioners and millions of Nigerians. The second to third respondent went too low and abandoned discretion when they claimed as follows. Our submission is that the petitioners are inviting anarchy by their ventilation of this issue of non-transmission of results electronically by MEC. Now, this is cheap, misguided, and destructive blackmail clearly intended to target the country's journalism, judicialism, and constitutionalism. It's also aimed at cannibalizing our democracy. It will also raise the issue of insecurity if the petitioners emulate the bad example of the second and third respondent. However, that will never happen. When has it become offensive for petitioners to canvass a ground prescribed for the challenge of an election in section 134, subsection 1, subsection 6 of the Electoral Act 2022? Desperation taken too far can be extremely dangerous. Let the second and third respondent know that where the rule of law is trampled upon or truncated, anarchy reigns supreme. And these are some of the relevant facts that was mentioned in the final written address of Labour Party and Peter Obi. It's a proud to the conduct of the 25th February 2023 presidential election. The third respondent had previously been nominated as a senatorial candidate of the fourth respondent for Borno Central Senatorial District and remained so till 15th July 2022, when he withdrew his said nomination as a senatorial candidate of the fourth respondent for Borno Central Senatorial District on the platform of the fourth respondent, whilst the third respondent was standing nominated as the senatorial candidate as aforestated. He was unlawfully nominated as the vice presidential candidate of the fourth respondent on the 14th July 2022, thereby knowingly allowing himself to be nominated as a candidate in more than one constituency within the meaning and intendment of Section 35 of the Electoral Act. 2. The petitioners will argue that invalid nomination of the third respondent as the vice presidential candidate nullified the nomination election of the second respondent as the presidential candidate of the fourth respondent within the meaning of the provision of section 142 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Very quickly, the third respondent is Shetima. The second respondent is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So let's continue. Now, the third strong point they made mention of in their final written address, I'm talking about Labour Party and Peter Obi. He said it is common knowledge that the second respondent, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was a subject of an order of forfeiture by the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois, Eastern Division, in case number 93C4483. The order of forfeiture against the respondent was in terms forfeiting a dire sum of $460,000 against him, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which represent proceeds of narcotic trafficking, and money laundering. The order for forfeiture against the second respondent was a fine within the meaning of section 137, subsection 1, subsection D of the 1999 Constitution, for which a person shall not be qualified for election to the office of the president if he is under a sentence or fine for any office involving dishonest or fraud by whatever name called imposed on him by a court or tribunal. Now, the fourth very powerful point they raised also in their final written address, it's quite much really, but let's still continue, is the virus of the statutory and constitutional disqualification of the second and the third respondent as candidates in the presidential election renders the purported return declaration as the winners of the election invalid, null, and void, and liable to be set aside. Oh, for want of time, we could go on and on and on, but these are some of those very strong points raised in the petition. There's still more, okay, but for want of time, probably give you more on those strong details on the petitions. I can assure you more details are coming even from INEC quarters. There's some probably in the next few couple of minutes, we're probably going to upload that as well, where INEC is beginning to say some things quite very strong. Don't also forget that INEC is yet to give their own verdict, final written address, which they will do, and also Atiku Abubakar is yet to give their own response. After this whole response is done and dusted, then the verdict will come in. That's why you see a lot of Nigerians are worried this issue of resign of some judges. They shouldn't even resign, please, because if they go through that resignation saga, which I believe it is fake news that has been addressed by the Court of Appeal, which is good enough, okay, if they go through that issue of resignation or two of the judges resign, it will elongate the process of the verdict of the hearing or the final verdict or final judgment, of which if it goes beyond the 180 days, the whole case becomes a mess. So we do not pray for anyone to resign. We also pray for them to have wisdom on how to do that. We're going to keep you updated on more of the points we raised. 42 is not beans, man. 42 pages is not beans. We keep giving you update as more keeps coming. Have a nice time.